So in this lecture, we will learn that why we takes the +1 and -1 for support vectors planes. That is for what is our support vector planes? We simply see that when we formulate our mathematical formulations, okay, in pi minus and pi plus and pi minus. Okay, you will see that, and I promised you I have discussed everything step by step. So now this is the time why we take this our pi plus plane and pi minus plane, that is we call the positive optimal plane, and pi minus, that is now negative optimal place, as these equations. So just remember these two things. We have taken our pi plus equations is W transpose plus 1, and we have taken our negative optimal plane, that is pi minus, is equals to W transpose xi equals to -1. That is our support vector planes. Means this planes is that plane that first touches our support vectors, and everything we have discussed geometrically as well as mathematically in previous lecture. So although don't be confused, just draw this again. I am going to draw this, it will be better to understand. This is our simply pi plus pi minus simpler it is our pi, that we takes each equations is equals to W transpose simple, that is our pi plus. Now the question is that why we are taking this, why for pi plus we are taking +1 and -1s, why we are taking this is our big question. And simple, remember one thing, and I also just remember, here we are taking the perpendicular vector to our optimal place is W, and the perpendicular same, this is W and this is W, and this is simple our perpendicular vector, and it is any vector, and this vector is any vector. Simple, this is any vector which is perpendicular to our optimal plane. Okay, and also it need not be a unit vector. Also I am in previous lectures also I am called, this is any vector, it is need not to take a unit vector. Simple. And what is our main task here in the what is our main motto or main task in support vector methods? We have to maximize our margin. So what we will get in support vector, what is our margin? We see that our margin is 2 by norm W. And what is our optimal equations here? That is W star B star. We got this for optimal equations. Okay, and also we have some constants. This is our objective functions, and we have some constant as well. If we have n number of data points, then we got n constants. Okay, so this is simple our main formulation. Now the question is why we take this is one. So I will see this thing in two way. Okay, so first consider one by so one way. Just I'm taking here. Okay, so first one way is, so let's take here our positive pi plus plane is equals to 1. It is not 1. Suppose let's take it is not 1, it is equals to k. Suppose pi plus is equals to our plus k, and k should be any number, k should be any number which is greater than 0. Okay, just first write down, then suppose let's take pi plus is here, our pi minus is where k should be any number which is greater than 0, and also it is equals to constant. Okay, simple this. Let's first take k should be any number is k is a constant and also greater than 0. Why k should be greater than 0? Why k should be? Because we are interested to take our optimal support vector planes will be our equal distance, will be the equal distance from our optimal plane pi. So why k will be greater than 0? Because k will be greater than 0 because then only our positive optimal plane and the negative optimal plane are away from our pi. If k is greater than 0, then this will be away from our plane, away from our pi. Then only our away from pi. Because of this, and anyone can ask, sir, why we have not taken instead of k1, instead of k, both k, I am also taking k1 here and k2 here. Is it is also valid, but why I am not taking k1 and k2? Why I am not taking the same number k1 plus k and minus k? So because of we are not taking here k1 and k2, taking because simple, we are just want that pi 1 and pi plus and pi minus are equally far away from our optimal hyperplane, that is pi. We just want that this pi plus and pi minus are equally far away. Not suppose if I just taken here, if I just taken our optimal pi plus n is here and our pi minus n is here, so the pi this is pi plus and this is our pi minus. Okay, we just not want to take such situations. We want just our both pi plus and pi minus are equally distanced far away, from our optimal hyperplane, that is pi. So because only because of this we are considering that we are taking, only because of this we are taking this, we are taking k, only k, equal k. Okay, nothing else. Simple, just write. Why we not taking k1 and k2? Because we want pi plus and pi minus are equally far away from our optimal hyperplane that is pi. Because of this, we are not taking different number, only we are taking equal number. And k is positive because of this. Okay, I think why I am taking this thing clear now. Okay, now if I just consider these equations for our both support vector planes, then what will be now the margin? So I think you can easily find as previous lecture. If you see how we find the different distances, perpendicular distance between two planes, same way you can find here. If you use the same way, you can easily find here. So now in this case, what will be our margin? In this case, our margin will be 2ky norm w. Okay, and if this is our margin, then what will be our optimal equation now? And now objective functions is converted to 2. Now our objective functions will be arc max of over all wb 2ky, this one. If you see these equations, and I am just, if you compare this equation, if you with this equation, if we compare, okay, if we just compare these equations with this equation, both are the same kind, and both the optimal, actually end of the day both the equations are the same kind of equations. Okay, if you see, both are the similar kind of equations, because at the end of the day we have to find the w and b. We are interested to find to w star and b star optimal, that one will be optimal. Okay, and simply if w star b star will work these equations, if w star and b star if work for these equations, and also this same w star b stars also work for these equations, I think they have no problem. So both for the both of, if you see in optimal point of view, both are the equations are the same. Okay, they have no problem. And for because of simplicity of our math, because of simplicity of our math, here I am not taking k, here I am simply using 1 for nothing else. Okay, because of this simplicity. Okay, now see the second interpretations. This is one first interpretation or nothing else. So simple because of simplicity of our math, because optimal point in optical point of view, this thing or this thing are same, this thing and this thing are same. Because of this we are taking here instead of k, we are taking here 1 because of simplicity our math. Okay, this is our first interpretations. Now let's see what is our second interpretation of this. So suppose what is our pi plus equations that we take here, w transpose x plus b equals to k. So let's take this. I am discuss everything here. let's take our pi plus is equals to here. Now I'm just dividing this thing by k equals to 1. Okay, so if you see, just see, w star w is what? W transpose is a vector and k is a simple scalar. So now we are simply here, this w transpose k means, this means we are just dividing every vector w1 by k, w2 by k. We are dividing every component of this vector by k, that is wd by k, if our w belongs to rt. This transpose, okay, nothing else, this transpose vector, this means, okay, I think now this one clear. Now we can easily call this vector, we can easily call w dash of x plus w e, this portion we call b. This is simple one, because we called the, as previously we called that w is any vector. Here w is not a unit vector. If wb is unit vector, then we cannot take here w is equals to 1. So simply here w transpose equals to 1. Because of w is any vector, so we can easily take this one, this formula. So simply let's write down, because w is any vector, so we can take w dash instead of w. Okay, so I think the second interpretation you are easily understand. I think there I have no problem. So the main motto, so if you just summarize this thing, if you just summarize this thing, the main reason, behind this to take plus 1 and minus 1 for pi plus, I am taking pi plus 1, and for pi minus I am taking minus 1. Simple, the main reason is simplicity to our math. Well, so for simplify, okay, so for simplify our maths, we are taking plus 1 or minus 1. Okay, if you are interested to take plus k minus k, I think it is not the main thing, it is not the main issue. You can, if you want, then you can easily take, it is not the main reason. Okay, for simplify our math, simply we are taking here plus 1 and minus 1. Okay, I think this concept is clear why I am taking plus 1 and minus 1 of it. Okay, if you had any if you had any doubt, please comment below.